Welcome, my name is Emma Precious, and this is my very first video, which I'm hoping is going to be a bit of an intro into why I'm doing this and what it's going to be about. Um, mm, so hopefully it's not too long. The reason why I am doing this is because I am now 36 years old. I was born with two heart defects, and I've had open heart surgery. Supposedly they have been corrected. However, the operation it hasn't given me a normal heart. My heart still is not anatomically normal. My heart is effectively backwards. That's the best way I can describe it. And so, as you might imagine, this can have massive impacts on my day-to-day life and all parts of my life. And as I say, I'm 36 years old and now. Over the last few years, I have been trying to understand myself more. I have had great difficulty throughout my life with mental health issues, and I'd never particularly put it down to my heart. But I do think that over the last few years, as I've started to think about it, actually, a lot of it probably does have to do with my heart, and I've just never realised it. So, as part of me wanting to help myself and work on myself, I wanted to do this as my space to talk about how things are affecting me, how things are making me feel, my perspective or point of view on different topics, but also I want to explore by discussing it, with myself out loud on camera. I want to help myself understand and sort of give myself a bit of therapy in all areas of my life. And I do think that it does go back to my heart, the whole thing of childhood trauma and all this sort of stuff. And that's what I want to explore, really. When I started looking for other people that had heart defects, or more specifically, the same heart defect as me, and even more specifically, the same operation that I had, because not everybody with this heart defect will have had the same operation. I did find a group on Facebook, and that has been amazing. However, I couldn't find somebody else that was really talking about this and the way that they felt about things and the symptoms that they had, and what had happened to them and how it had affected them. And it's very lonely. Your friends and family, they might know what it is that you've got. They might think they understand what it is that you've got, but nobody will actually really understand unless they're living with this themselves. So this, whilst it is for me to help myself, it is also for me to raise awareness about congenital heart defects, to raise awareness of invisible disabilities and invisible illnesses more broadly, to start conversations about this, because I don't think that we're having these conversations. I don't think it's something that people are really aware of. And I want it to help someone else. If anything that I say resonates with anybody, you might have the same heart defects as me. You might have had the same operation as me. You might be absolutely nothing like me in the slightest, but things that I've experienced, things that I've thought, things that I've felt, they might mean something to you. You might recognize them. And if that helps you to know that you're not alone and you're not the only person that has these thoughts and feelings, whatever they might be. I hope this helps you. And that is the reason why I'm doing this in a more public way. There's lots of things recently where I've been speaking to family about my condition, about the hospital appointments, the people that I see in the hospital, and the people that understand and the people that don't understand. And just because somebody is a doctor, it doesn't mean that they know about your condition. And that can be incredibly frustrating when even the medical profession turn around and look at you and say, "There doesn't look anything wrong with you." Or, "Oh, well, your heart surgery was over 30 years ago, so there's nothing wrong with you now, you're fine." And I know that I'm not. I will, through this, do different episodes. The idea is that I will take a subject and I will do an episode around that. So, what is my heart defect? What does that mean? What's the operation I've had? All that sort of stuff, so that you get to know a little bit about that. But then also different areas of my life and how that has affected it. So, going through school, working, I am a co-founder of a business and run a business. I am a member of Mensa. I have had issues with religion. I've had issues with relationships, the issues that you have with medication, medical appointments, money. The so many areas in my life where this affects me and the way that I think. And so I'm wanting to explore those with you. Hopefully you now know why I'm doing this and it'll start to make sense. What I'm going to do first is I'm going to do some really shorter episodes so people don't get bored. Hopefully no one gets bored. Just to give you a brief intro into certain areas, and then over the course of time, the idea is that I will go into those areas in more detail. And if anybody does want to interact with me, that's great. Please do get in touch and leave your thoughts and comments. Whether it is something that we take onto another channel, I am going to be setting up social media channels and a website. It might mean that I use those ideas or those comments to make further episodes if it's something that I think is worth talking about more. And I am also open to having guests come and speak to me. So if anybody has experiences that, they want to discuss, then I'm open to that too. So hopefully, fingers crossed, this is not going to all turn to shit.